quiet. No, it's setting up. It's redoing. I don't see it. Do you see it yet?
It says it's streaming live.
No, Mama. Did you start it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It says live on Facebook. Um, let me see. Want to make sure we're live. Make sure we're live and ready to join you for Thinking Thursday. I am double checking and making sure all is well. As you know, I do this a while, but I'm not a real Facebook person. So knowing the ins and outs of Facebook is not what I do. So here we are. We are ready for Thinking Thursday. Thanks for joining us. This month is May is Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month, and the color for mental health awareness is green. So I am repping my green for mental health awareness. Joining me today is Linda Henderson. She works with Child Protective Services in Harris County. Linda, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
We always start out with deep breathing and relaxation. And for those of you who have never joined us, let me tell you why. As you take in deep breaths and get yourself, it helps you calm down, it helps you center. So it also puts more oxygen in your brain. Oxygen is food for the brain. It allows the brain to get more energy and function better. So I need you to join me and take in a deep breath. But let me show you how first. It's not just, that doesn't work. No. I'm going to count slowly. And as I count, you will breathe in. And as I count backwards, you will breathe out. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. One last time, and you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. That gives you a chance to just breathe and take a moment to breathe and just woosah and relax as we get ready to talk about some serious things. Now, right now, we are in the middle of COVID-19. And you know, we don't even really know what that means for all of us. It's a little crazy. And right now things are opening up. And what does opening up mean? We're not sure. Some people are excited. They need to get the economy running. They need to get back on. They need everything to work. They need it to go. Others are like, whoa, slow down. It's too much too soon. Well, we have what we have, and it causes a lot of mental stress. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the stressors and maybe some things we can do. One of the things we're seeing with children and women is that abuse is on the rise.
Yes.
It is not going down at all. But let's think about it. You're in the house more. You are managing if you're at home and you're a mother who's working, you might be working from home. You are managing your children. You are trying to do schoolwork and be the teacher. You're trying all this and trying to maintain your sanity. That's become a difficult thing. We are seeing some interesting things happen with women and children with domestic violence and abuse. And Linda is going to talk to us about that. Linda?
Thank you, Brownlyn, for inviting me. I currently work with Children's Protective Services. I've been with the agency almost 29 years. And I'm also working on what's called the Harris County Disproportionality Board, and we look at disparate outcomes of children of color in systems. And we are noticing that there is an intensive rise of domestic violence cases, but also cases involving substance abuse. And those combination of the two, the domestic violence as well as alcohol and drugs, can cause a lot of stressors in the home and a lot of violence in the home. So what we want our viewers as well as the state of Texas to know is that Children's Protective Services is still working. We've been working throughout COVID-19. We never shut down. We're open 24 hours a day. And so we are here for families to help heal them as they're going through these stressors. You can call in and state if you've seen something or heard something with the family, because with school being out, the eyes and the ears are closed, and so we don't see a lot or hear a lot about what's going on. Our intakes, those reports to Children's Protective Services, have gone down a little bit because we don't have the school systems that are partnered with us that are calling in to tell us about what they know of abuse and neglect going on or domestic violence going on. So we have to be a lot more creative to report when we see or hear things. This has been an extremely stressful time, as Brownlin has stated, for our families, and especially for our children that are trying to understand what's going on. When they're having to stay away from family, their grandparents or their friends, and they're in the home and parents are trying to entertain them and educate them. And then they have to understand what's going on, or they don't understand it when they see their parents fighting, and it gets physical and it gets violent. And all of those can cause a lot of stress to the household, especially for the parent that's the victim trying to protect her children as well as protect herself. And it could be a he or a she in a violent situation. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about some things that we have learned at Children's Protective Services while working on the Harris Disproportionality Board. We got some training from The Bridge, which is a resource for women who have been battered. It's a shelter where they can go to. And we talked about safety plans for the families. When you have an opportunity, mom or dad, and you're in a situation in which it's become violent, you need to discuss a plan with your children, how you're going to keep yourself safe. And the best thing to do is to reach out to resources that are out there. There are tons and tons of resources that are out there to help families. That's the first thing. You want to protect yourself first. But then you put a plan together. If you have to leave the home, where are you going to go? Do you have a family member? Do you have a friend? Do you have a neighbor? Is there a shelter number that you can go to, you've called and prepared for? Get a plan together on where you're going to go. Secondly, if you have that opportunity and you've got some time, make duplicates of everything: birth certificates, social security cards, Medicaid cards, shot records, get extra clothing and things, and take them to that safe place, to that family member, to that friend. Because when a situation escalates, you don't want to be there. You want to be able to run straight out the house. Something else you can do: get a safe word for you and the children. It can be any word that's made up. If a situation escalates, use that safe word where the children can run and go and hide or go and leave. They can go in a bedroom, leave out a window, or go and hide under the bed. Have a safe word. These are just some of the things that you can do to start planning before a situation gets out of control. One of the things we want folks to know about Children's Protective Services is that we're here to help families heal. That's our job. And so if you call us, and our number is 1-800-252-5400, that's the statewide intake number. If you are in trouble and you need some counseling, we're here for you. We've got counseling. We can help with your family situation and help to make you all whole. Don't just sit in a situation and let it escalate. Your children's lives could be at stake, and so could yours. This is a troubling time for us, but we're going to get through it. Just know that we're here for you.
Thank you, Linda. As you said, it's troubling times, and we're seeing so many changes in what's going on. So I wanted to talk to you from a mental health perspective, and Linda, you can chime in if you have anything to say, but I want to look at some adjustments we might need to make because we can tell you what the problem is, but I think it's more important for me to tell you some things you can do that might assist if you're the one having trouble coping or if you know someone who's having coping. I've talked to people, and some of the things that I hear or see that people are concerned about deal with fear, depression, anxiety, managing grief, because we manage grief differently now. Our culture, our society says we manage and find closure through having a funeral where everyone's there and we come and we grieve together. We don't have that ability to grieve and have that closure anymore. It's causing great angst among many people. So those are there's some others, Linda, you can think of that are areas that people are finding troubling?
Well, when we have had cases come in where family members are depressed, where it's a mother or dad that's depressed, often they will give responsibilities to the oldest child in the home. And that can add a lot of pressure and emotional trauma to that child, feeling that they have to be responsible for their little brothers and their little sisters. And so if you find yourself as a parent not able to get out of bed, not able to talk with your children, if you don't do the normal things that you usually do, it's time to reach out to someone and let them know that you need some help. And I know that can be difficult and hard. It can even be embarrassing, to have to admit that you've got a problem going on. But unless someone knows, we at CPS would never know. Don't be afraid to call out and reach out to someone. It could be a church member, a family member, a confidant. Let them know that you're struggling, because you don't want your children to feel that they have lost their parent to some emotional downturn that they're going into. They see it, they just don't understand it. So during this time, when you're feeling like that, reach out. It's okay to reach out and say, look, I think I'm having difficulty. All of us are having to make adjustments and it's not easy, but if you reach out to someone else and let them know, that's when we can help.
I want to talk about a few adjustments, and that's how I'm going to frame it tonight. I have 4 adjustments we can make. First, adjust your feelings and adjust your thoughts about feelings. We have this idea that in this country, put on your big girl panties. Big girls don't cry. Man up. So the thought behind that is, if you're an adult, you don't have to have feelings. Adults don't have feelings. We just go through. So if you're managing depression or anxiety or fear right now, and someone tells you to man up, someone tells you big girls don't cry, put on your big girl panties, is that disowning how you're really feeling? So adjust your thoughts about feelings and realize, oh yeah, I'm afraid, I'm stressed out, I'm disgusted, I'm angry, I'm scared, my anxiety is off the wall, all of that. If you don't own it, you can't change it.
Yes.
So take ownership of those feelings. Adjust how you think about them. I usually give this example, and I want to give it again. If you had high blood pressure and the doctor said, you need to take this pill and you need to modify your eating habits, and you did that and you found your blood pressure went down, you wouldn't think anything of it. You wouldn't think any less of yourself as a person because you're managing your health, your physical health. But when it comes to our mental health, we put a whole different spin on it. Yes. And it's, mental health, that's different. That's not the same. But you know what? There's a mental health and there's physical health. You know what they have in common? The word health. It's all health. It's Western society that has divided it up, but it's all our health. And when we begin to think about mental health, physical health, spiritual health is all part of our health. It's just our health. And we have to take care of every aspect of our health. When we look at it this way, we can adjust those thoughts and realize, if I have feelings that I can't manage, it's part of my health. It's no different in taking care of your mental health than it is taking care of your blood pressure or taking care of if you had kidney issues, if you were diabetic, if you had heart issues, if you're depressed, if you're anxious, all of those are part of your health regime. All of those need to be adjusted. So next, you want to adjust your vocabulary. You know, we know mad, glad, happy, and sad. Those are feelings, and we know those. There's so much more than mad, glad, happy, or sad. If you're already watching, type in some feeling word. Type in a word that describes how you have felt in the last week, good or bad. And I'll just read them out. But you cannot use mad, glad, happy, or sad. We overuse those words. There are so many words we can use. There are over 300 words we can use to define feelings. Many define positive, many define negative. We might be disgusted. We might feel angst. We might be overwhelmed. All of these describe how we feel. So when you adjust your vocabulary, it's also part of taking ownership. You can't give away what you don't own. You can't give away what's not yours. So when you own those feelings and admit, yes, I am feeling depressed. I am feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling disgusted. I want to slap my child. You need to own it so you can get help with it. I don't want you to go slap your child. I'm saying own the feeling so you can find something else to do. So you can talk to someone about it. When you begin to adjust those feelings, as Linda said earlier, find someone, talk to them. But if you're busy denying that you ever have those feelings and that those feelings aren't real for you, you can't adjust it. One word I see so far is inspired. As I say, if you're watching, type in a word to describe how you might have felt, good or bad, in the last week. And I'll read those out as they come in. Encouraged is another word. There's another adjustment I think you need to make, and that's adjusting your focus. I attend New Life Fellowship in Arlington, Texas, and on Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Thursday, our pastor does a prayer call, and he talks a few minutes about a scripture and how, to apply it. So this morning, he was talking about Psalm 1, verses 1 and 2, and it's talking about meditating on the Lord, or meditating. And he talked about, what meditate really means: thinking about something, intensely thinking about it over and over. What you meditate on is what you're going to feed on. So maybe you need to adjust your focus. Some other words that came in were overwhelmed, confused, hurt, joy. So there's so many things that you could feel. Somebody just said, you can feel so many things. Thankful is another word. What are you focusing on? Are you going to focus on the encouraged, the overwhelmed? Or are you going to hurt on the hurt, the sadness? What you choose to focus on, what you choose to put your energy into, is going to help you manage it. Now, I'm not the pie in the sky person who said, if you just think about it, it's going to be all better. No. But if you can adjust your focus, you can work to make it better. As I said, you have to own those feelings. So I'm not saying just ignore your feelings. No. Think about what you're really feeling, meditate on it, and figure out how do you need to work through these feelings. What is it you need to do to manage your feelings better so that you can function? And the last adjust I have is you might need to adjust the way you see yourself. And you might need to realize you're not in this by yourself.
Yes.
I am a therapist, and I'm in this business because I believe that therapists have the ability to help you get from point A to B. They have the ability to help you adjust your thinking. They can help you adjust the vocabulary by giving you new vocabulary, helping you find that vocabulary. They can definitely help you adjust your focus. So if you are someone who may need help, my number is here. You can reach out to me, but you can reach out to me and say, okay, I don't want to talk to you, but I need help. That's fine too. I will help you even find that person you need. But seek help. Seek family members. But sometimes you might need professional help too. Someone who can be objective, someone who is looking at it from a fresh lens. So seek help when you need to make some adjustments. If you've ever been to the chiropractor, what he does for you is to make adjustments. And when you go to the chiropractor and get an adjustment, you're better able to move. You're better able to work through that part of the body that was adjusted. Again, it's just part of your health. So when your mental health needs to be adjusted, reach out. Um, when I think about, there is this phrase that is so wrong, but I'm going to use it in a new context and make it right for me. A lot of people feel that name it and claim it and it's yours. I'm saying name your feeling and claim your feeling. All this other name it and claim it, I can't quite get with it. But when it comes to your feelings, give your feeling a name. If it needs to be adjusted so that you can function better, adjust it. Be able to say, this is what I need to do for me. I'm getting help. I'm adjusting my thoughts. I'm adjusting my feelings. I'm claiming my feelings, and the ones that are not working for me, I'm not going to keep them. I will replace them with something else.
Mm.
In my practice, I do see people now that are stressed out. Life is stressful. As I said earlier, parents are working from home with children at home. And the children had to be teachers. Fortunately, for most, school is out, or all of it will be out by next week or so.
Yeah.
It's starting to wind down. But a lot of daycares aren't opening, a lot of camps aren't opening, and now you're home and the children don't even have school to distract them. And they're running around while you're trying to work. The stress is not getting ready to go away. Our world is not going to go back to what it was. So we have to learn to adjust and modify, whatever that means. And you know what? That's a daily adjust and modify. Linda, is there anything else you want to talk about with as we adjust and modify to our new life?
I was just thinking while you were talking that it's okay, mom and dad, to say, mom and dad need a timeout. Just time out, go to a quiet spot in your house if you can find one, and make that your special place where no one else comes in, and just take a time out. It's always good to think about things before you let them explode. So when you feel yourself getting to that point and it's just reaching right there to the nose level, say, sorry guys, mom needs a timeout. And just go to your place and just take a few moments to readjust, like you said, and to breathe, and then come back and try to begin. Because it can get overwhelming. You just want to burst out. But if you take that time and just say, I need a time, mommy needs a time out, and you go, and then you come back. It's okay to do that.
It is. And I tell clients all the time, parents all the time when I teach parenting, take your time out.
Yeah.
And sometimes that time out means I just have to go to the bathroom and close the door and hide because there's just nothing else to do.
There you go.
That's okay. Go in there and close that door.
Yeah.
And they might knock on that door. Hold on, I'm busy.
Right.
But do what it takes. And allow your children, especially if you guys are just stuck in the house and there's no getting out, allow them some time to say, okay, mom, I just need to get away for a minute. It's okay.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone last week, and it was a child who was probably about 8. Well, mama, I just need a break from everything. Can I go to my room?
Yeah.
And that was okay. They were smart enough to realize that they weren't managing it either, because in this case, it was just a lot of stress in the house. And that was the 8-year-old's way of saying, I need a break from everything. They wouldn't close their door. I think she said she just took a nap, but that's okay. Learn to adjust what you need to do for yourself. Before we wind down, if there are any questions, you can type them in before we end. But I will say, Thinking Thursday is all about promoting mental health. Again, mental health is just part of who we are. Mental wellness is the same as physical wellness. Mental health is the same as physical health. Just be able to be who we are, to live and be healthy, and take the stigma away. Mental Health Month was started in 1949, and part of it was to take the stigma away from mental health. It's just your health. So if you're depressed, remember, you're no different from anyone who is suffering from high blood pressure. It's a health issue.
Yes.
If you're managing anxiety, you're no different from anyone who has diabetes. It is a health issue.
Yes.
So take your health in your own hands and adjust it to the way it needs to be. Linda, do you have any final thing you would like to say?
I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to come on and to speak with your people this evening. And remember that CPS is here for you. We want to make families whole. Everyone have a good and safe weekend.
All right, so enjoy this. Now, if you're getting out there, I will say, be careful. Masks are a good thing. And remember, your mask protects those around you, not you. You don't know what you have. So if everyone is bothered, if everyone is protecting everyone, we're going to be better off. So put those masks on, protect yourself, protect everybody around you. And we will see you next month, the third Thursday, for Thinking Thursday. Bye, and have a great evening.